Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and I've got another review for you today. And this is the brand new HGW seatbelt set for the Airfix 124 scale F6F-5 Hellcat, part number 124511. And as you can see, what we're getting here is a small sheet. Well, it's a fairly large sheet in comparison to most of the smaller scales. It's a sheet of textile material, which I'll show you how to use. And we've got our main shoulder straps there. We've got our belt straps there, or waist straps there, and then we've got the pad that goes behind the buckle, and then the little small tassels that go on the chest to about here, so the pilot can pull down and tighten up his shoulder harness. So, and then on the bottom here we've got a small sheet of Photo-Etch, which is made by Edward. So basically, if you've never used HGW seatbelts, you don't know what you're missing. If you've got the Airfix kit, I would seriously recommend buying these, because for one, in 24 scale, having realistic looking cloth like seatbelts are going to make the cockpit absolutely pop. Airfix have done a fantastic job with their plastic seatbelts. They look really good, but they have no stitching detail on them. And you can see on here, well, I'll show you in a minute, we've got some stitching on there, so that's what's going to make all the difference. And also with these, you can position them and lay them out, and you'll have, you know, air behind them rather than the thicker plastic parts. I mean, Airfix have done a fantastic job, as I say, but the restrictions of injection moulding mean they're, you know, probably scale 1 inch thick. So you know, this is the way to go. They're available from the HGW website at HGW, here you go, hgwmodels.cz. I'll put a link to this set down below. As I say, it's 124511, currently priced at $14.14 for America plus shipping, and the rest of the world €12.21. So what's that, about £11 I guess in the UK. Exchange rates aren't very good at the moment. But yeah, I'm building 2 of these Hellcats on my channel, as you know, and I will be doing a sort of how-to with these in the US Navy build. I'm doing an FAA Colours one and a US Navy one, and my cockpit series is all about Part 8. So Part 8A and Part 8B are up. Part 8C will probably include the making of these and some of the other bits and pieces I've got for the cockpit. So yeah, if there's one thing you buy for this kit, this should be it. And as I say, if you've never used these before, 24 scale is a great way to go. One, because of obviously the accuracy and the size, but also because things are comparatively large. If you can imagine this in 48 scale, everything would be half the size, and it can get very, very fiddly for the newer modelers, but it's so satisfying when it's done. It's extremely enjoyable, and you know, really, when you see me do them, you'll see what I mean, and you can stain them and give them a wash, and oh, they just look incredible. So let's have a look inside the pack at what we're actually getting. It's typical of HGW. This is how they package all their stuff. Sometimes the packs are larger, obviously, if there's more belts, like if you've got 2 belts for the 24 scale Mosquito, for example. And by the by, I'll be starting a build along very soon of the Airfix 124 scale Typhoon, and I will definitely be getting a set of these belts for that. So if you're doing a build along with me, you might want to join in and get some as well. So basically, typical HGW packaging, piece of card in the middle to stop everything getting bent, and then we've got our instructions on a sheet on the back and our parts on the front. And what we've got here on the front is a sheet of textile material. It's very, very thin, and you can see that on the back it's coloured as well. So HGW have really listened to the modeler. When they first started making these belts, oops, that's not supposed to happen. When they first started making these belts, what they did, they made this on a sheet, and you had to actually physically cut them out. And it was quite difficult, particularly on some of the belts where you had stitching on the edge. And then they changed to this laser effect, so they actually, this all just loose on there, you can see, and all you got to do is cut the ends, which don't get seen because the ends get folded over anyway. So that's one big improvement. But then the problem was the back of them were white, so if you had them sort of coming down the back of the seat and they sort of went into a spiral, you could see white on the back. Whereas with these now, they've got the colour on the back, and you've also got this separate piece here to have the separate colour on the back for part number 5, which is the little pad that goes behind the buckle. So very, very thoughtful of them, and really, really nicely done. The fact they've done that and not just had it brown on the front and beige on the back. And then of course we've got a little sheet of Photo-Etch at the bottom with all our buckles and stuff, a little bit of folding to do there by the look of it, and then you've got the little catches there. Really, really nice, really nice little set, and will really make the cockpit in your model pop. Nothing on the back, just plain white card. And you can see here, if you look at this picture, you can see that's how good their seatbelts look when they're made up. That's a Luftwaffe seat, obviously, but yeah, they are absolutely stunning. Oh, and I said I was going to show you the stitching. Let me stand up and get this in focus for you. You can see on the lap belts there's some stitching there, which doesn't exist on the Airfix parts, so you know it really does make a big difference. And you can also probably just pick it up with some stitching on the rear harness, on the shoulder harness there as well. So yeah, very nicely done, beautifully done indeed. And you won't believe when you see me do this. As I say, I'll do them in the US Navy build. You literally just scrunch them up into a ball, you destroy them before you start. You'll see what I mean. Here we've got the instructions here showing we've got textile parts in red and then Photo-Etch parts in blue. So you work out the assembly sequence yourself. So obviously I'll do that, and then you can follow me if you want to, or use your own sequence or whatever. And the one thing I do notice on here, they're showing the actual shoulder harness going onto a bracket on the back of the seat. That's not actually there on the kit. I'll need to look at my model and look at the bulkhead and see if there's some sort of fitting. In fact, let's do that right away. And we can see here that basically what's going to happen is that seatbelt is going to go over the back. It's got to go over this rail here. Remember, the Airfix seatbelts are moulded onto that rail, so you're going to have to cut them off, or you could actually just make a new rail out of a piece of brass or something. And then they're going to have to go over there, so you'll have to fit the seatbelts into here first. And I'm guessing what I'll do is I'll get some reference material before I do the build, and then you'll see what I'm doing. But I'm guessing the actual belt is going to go onto somewhere on here. Maybe it does go on the back of the seat, but it won't be seen in the model anyway. Once the seat goes in, that buckle won't be seen. So we'll probably just put a dab of glue on here and glue it there. We'll have it coming up over this rail, then put the seat in, and then put the harness over the top. So that's the way that's going to go. So there's no actual mounting on there for by the look of it for the actual belt, but I know the kit certainly doesn't have that. This is probably a generic image from a 48 scale kit or something that's got that detail on the back of the seat, but doesn't matter, it won't be seen anyway. So we're going to fit that harness over there, and then probably before we put the seat in, we'll make up these the lap straps and fit them to the sides of the seat. Now I know there's holes in the side of the seat for the actual the plastic harness to fit onto, so what I'll probably do is put some pins in there to fit these two, and then we can have a really nice solid mount on the side, and then we can play with them and get them all sort of sitting down lovely. And what you basically do is get them down, give them a wash, give them a gloss coat, and that makes them a bit stiffer, and then you give them another wash, and yeah, and then a coat of matte varnish, and well, you'll see when we get there. But yeah, really nice. HGW, thank you very much. They sent me these in the post. I contacted them a few weeks ago and asked if they were going to do it, and they offered to send me a free set for in return for reviewing them and doing a build on the channel. So that's what I've done for them. So thank you very much. If they're feeling really generous, they might send me a set for the Typhoon, eh? Who knows? So there we go. Keep your eyes open. It'll be very soon, maybe even tomorrow. I will do a how-to with how I do these seat belts, and go get, if you've got the kit, go get yourself. It's a no-brainer. They're absolutely stunning. So yeah, stay posted. I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.